So I added a few additions to my quote unquote home studio. The first is this mat. I think I got these from Aldi's. They came in like four. The second was the actual cover to my pole. So putting this on was actually not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. But we're starting to climb and I didn't want it to look ghetto no more. So I put the cap on. Outside of that, the other thing I added was these beautiful glitter fitness pole poses. I made two of them and I decided that I am going to make a third one. So that is what I am going to show you guys how to do today. So of course, the very first thing we are going to need is a picture of the pose that we want to actually put on our canvas. So I typed in pole fitness silhouette. That is such a hard word to spell, but I type it in so much. Luckily it came up for me. So what you're gonna do, as you can tell, they have like a crap ton of poses, is choose which pose that you feel will fit best. Now, for the example for today, I decided to try to do one that didn't have too many other small pieces that I had to keep in track with. But honestly, a lot of these pictures were really, really nice. But yeah, so you just search and kind of see which one seems easier. If you want something more challenging, of course, you can use that as well. It is completely up to you. Of course, the main thing we are going to need for this project is a canvas. So I got a bundle of canvases that I bought, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. I paint quite a bit, so I had a lot already. Next, we will need the picture that we chose before and print it out. As you can see, this is the one I chose. Next, we're gonna need some black paint. So I got some acrylic black paint. You can use any black paint. It doesn't have to be this one specifically, but as I said, I kind of paint quite often, so I have a lot of paint around the house. The next thing is a brush to paint our canvas with. We will also need some Mod Podge. So this one is the gloss version. I'm pretty sure the matte one would do the same thing, because we're using it as a glue base, but not necessarily to put over it. Next, we need a brush for the Mod Podge. Next, you would need some razors, or you can use an X-acto knife. I did not have one. I lost it, so I bought some razors, and I took some duct tape and I taped around the base of the razor. Honestly, it helps a lot with trying to be a little bit more sturdy with cutting out the paper overall. The last thing we need, of course, is our glitter. I believe I got these from Dollar Tree, and I think you get about 6 or 8 of different colors in the box. So yeah, that's all you need. So let's get started. So of course, we are going to start off using our wonderful canvas. Okay, first we are going to start off painting the entire canvas black. That includes the front of the canvas and all 4 edges of the canvas as well. have a lick of patience. So I bought this little blow dryer. I think it was from Goodwill for a few dollars that I use to dry my canvas when I am in a bit of a rush. So I did want to do 2 coats of the black. That's why I'm going ahead and drying it so that I can add my other coat. So while our canvas is drying, we are just going to go ahead and cut out our silhouette. With this one, you're going to be very careful, especially if you are using my method. If you are not of age to use a box cutter, please do not do this project. If so, please ask your parent, can they assist, as this thing is really sharp and you can harm yourself. For those of you who, are like one of the safe hazard freaks, look, don't come at me for the way that I'm cutting. I'm sorry. I know this is probably nowhere near the safe way to cut, but I did not harm myself. No fingers were cut in the making of this video. So we are just going to leave it at that. So anyways, like I said, you want to be very careful, making sure that you are cutting around all the curves, for the most part around the silhouette, as well as the inside space that is where her arm is. We also want to keep that piece, and you guys will see why soon. Now for the fun part. We are going to take our outline that we created. Like I said, don't forget the small piece. We're going to take our canvas that is now dry with our 2 coats of black paint. We are going to use tape. So I forgot to add that at the beginning, but you can use tape. You could use a little bit of Mod Podge glue. Basically anything that you can temporarily place the silhouette sturdy on the canvas with. I just took some regular tape because usually I would use double-sided tape, but I didn't have any. So I used regular tape. I just kind of roll it up like we used to do back in the day in middle school. Put it on the back and flipped it over and pressed it firmly on the canvas. So when you add the small part, you want to make sure it is exactly where it should be. So space it out a little bit to give the pole its shape. I used tape for that too, and I went ahead and pressed that down. Next, I am taking my brush with my Mod Podge and I am just painting it on. The best way to do it so that you don't put any glue underneath the paper is to paint, well, at least do the strokes inward towards your silhouette. As you can see, you can kind of tell, but instead of brushing outside, I try to brush inward. So that way, if there's any excessive paint, it'll actually be in the middle of the silhouette compared to seeping underneath the paper itself. the glitter. So I decided that I want to go ahead and make the pole actually silver, and I wanted to make her a different color. I did not do this with any of my other two pictures. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but we are just going to see. So the part that is the pole will be silver, and I will probably use either red or blue for her actual body. So once completed, I took a regular piece of copy paper, put it underneath my canvas, and used it to basically tap off the excessive glitter that is left. After that, I'm just going to take off my stencil and use a brush to dust off any excess glitter. There you have it. Isn't she so pretty? Of course, I could have made it a little bit cleaner, but she doesn't look too bad. She has joined her sisters and is just glossing and gleaming in her glory. If you've been watching so far, thank you, and see you guys in the next video.